Opportunity cost is the cost of not doing something that you could have. Now, although opportunity cost is an economic concept which is used by business owners and economists to do a cost benefit analysis, in this video, I'm going to talk about how opportunity cost as a concept can help us make better decisions in our life. So, knowledge of opportunity cost helps you analyze, reanalyze your decision such that you're able to minimize losses. So let's understand opportunity cost with a few examples. To understand opportunity cost, I've put together a PDF where I'll be taking you through a few examples. But let's get started with my story first. So the year is 2017, and I have the decision of taking up a job which is going to pay me 10 lakh rupees per annum, or I could pursue building my startup called Stone Santa when I was graduating out of college. At this instance, I was very confused, so I decided to speak to the person who had offered me the job, and he told me one thing, that Shashank, whatever decision you make, try to factor in opportunity cost as a concept. So I told him that, hey, I don't know what is opportunity cost. Could you tell me about it? So he told me one simple thing, that Shashank, if you're doing a job, you'll get paid about 8 lakh rupees after deducting taxes. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And he asked me that if you're building your startup full time, how much revenue can you clock in a year? So I did some back calculations and I realized that if we've been able to make about 5 lakh rupees in 3 months, so I should be able to make about 12 to 16 lakh rupees per annum. So I told him that somewhere between 12 to 16 lakh. So he told me, great. Now, if you take up a job, you have the 8 lakh rupees. Yes. If you take up building your venture full time, you may not be able to build 8 lakh rupees of personal wealth. However, since you are young and stupid, the first 2 years of your life, if you go try building your venture, you will gain foundational experiences, and buying this time again in the future is going to be really difficult. So he told me, even if your venture does not work, I still have the job for you. So in this case, factoring in opportunity cost, I did not have much to lose when I was pursuing my startup full time. So instead of taking up a job, I decided to pursue my venture full time. Now, things changed when COVID happened. In 2020, everything shut down. My business also shut down. We did not have orders. And for 3 months, it was really hard for me. And again, I took in opportunity cost as a factor. And then I decided that I should take up a job which is going to be stable, which is going to continually send money in my bank account such that I can sustain myself and the family that I need to support. And my business can take a part time venture wherein I am serving clients, I'm working with artists. So the opportunity cost for me to pursue my startup during COVID was very, very high. And instead of doing that, I decided to take up a job. So I have 3, 4 more simpler examples to explain opportunity cost to you. So let's get started. All right. So let's take a very simple example to understand opportunity cost. Imagine this is a person who earns rupees 1000 per hour. Now there are two scenarios. He decides to work wherein he is earning 1000 rupees, or he decides to go party wherein he's spending 1000 rupees. All right. Now in this case, if he chooses to party and not work, he's having a net loss of 2000 rupees. How? So the 1000 rupees that he could have earned is not going to come in anymore. Plus he's spending 1000 bucks. So if I total this, it's a net loss of 2000 rupees if he chooses to party and not work. However, on the flip side, if he's choosing to party and not work, he may have fun, he may get to meet his friends, and maybe it gets him to de-stress. So the opportunity cost of not partying for this particular person would be less fun, not meeting friends, and perhaps not getting de-stressed. Now it's up to this person to decide what option does he want to choose. If money is more important, in that case, partying would not be a good idea. If he wants to de-stress, have fun, then perhaps working would not be such a good idea. So this is one simple example. Let's go to the other one. Let's take example number 2. This is Miss Mirchi. She goes to a coffee shop near her house, and for some reason, she has a bad experience. The coffee does not taste as good. Now, if you are the shopkeeper or the waiter, what would your reaction be? Ideally, there can be two cases. One, you fix her coffee, or the second one, you tell her that, hey, I don't care, maybe order a better one next time, or let her go, right? Now, in this case, if I'm fixing her coffee, then perhaps it is costing me 300 rupees for the coffee. So, in the short term, I'm losing 300 rupees. All right. But if I don't fix her coffee, in that case, I am saving on the 300 rupees that I could have either given a refund or could have remade her coffee. Correct. But let's understand the hidden opportunity cost in this case. If Miss Mirchi has a bad experience, in this case, she will perhaps never go to the coffee shop again. And perhaps she may even tell her friends that, hey, don't go to this coffee shop because the waiter is not nice. But if she's served well, if she's taken care of, even if she's not had a good experience, then there are chances that she will visit the coffee shop again and again because it's close to her college. So suppose in one particular year, she visits the coffee shop for 30 times and spends an average of 500 rupees there. In this case, this cafe is making 15,000 rupees of revenue And if I look at the longer term game of a 1 year game, in this case, this shop lost 300 rupees, but was able to make 15,000 rupees in revenue because the owner took care of Miss Mirchi. And in fact, you will see this in businesses. Good businesses want to retain their customers. They do not want to lose their customers because of this very fact. They understand the high opportunity cost of losing a customer. In fact, if I tell you this, in my business, Stone Santa, it's a gifting business where we work with artists and create art, gifts. And it's a very sensitive business. There are times when clients are not as happy. So in that case, I either get the artwork remade or we try processing a refund. There are times when people are still unhappy, but this very gesture makes them feel good. And as a result, I've seen a lot of these clients coming back 1 year, 2 year later, or referring their friends to us. So businesses need to understand opportunity costs really well. And I think this example of Miss Virchi is a good explainer. Now let's take another example. Imagine Chota Shashank has two options. Either he does an executive MBA where the fee would be 25 lakh rupees per annum, or he continues doing his job where suppose he's earning 30 lakh rupees per annum. Now, if I decide to quit my job to do an MBA, in that case, I will be paying 25 lakh rupees as fee. Plus, I also need to add the lost salary that I will not be earning, correct? So in this case, suppose I add 30 lakhs. So in net, doing an MBA is me losing out on 55 lakh rupees. If I do not do an MBA, I will continue earning. So I'm earning 30 lakh rupees in that year. Let's not remove the taxes to keep it simple right now. However, if I really want to calculate my opportunity cost, then I'll try to imagine a scenario wherein suppose I do an MBA and after completing my MBA, suppose I get placed at 60 lakh rupees per annum. All right. In a matter of say 3 years, my net salary becomes 1.8 crores for 3 years. In this case, suppose I don't do an MBA, maybe first year my salary is 30 lakhs, then it increases to say 35 lakhs, and then perhaps it increases to 45 lakhs. So in this case, what is the total amount of money I've earned? This equals to 1.1 CR. So net after 3 years, if I really compare the decision of doing an MBA or not doing an MBA, I am in a deficit of 70 lakh rupees. And if I subtract my 25 lakh rupees here, I still have 45 lakh rupees that I have potentially lost by not doing an MBA. So this is another way in which opportunity cost can be calculated. Let's take another example now. Imagine you have the option of ordering food online, or you have the option of going to the place and ordering for food. Now, if you're ordering food online, suppose it is costing you rupees 500 plus suppose 50 rupees in delivery and handling charges. So in this case, you have paid 550 rupees. Okay. Now, if you're going to the restaurant, suppose the same menu is for 450 rupees, but since you're going to be driving there, you perhaps end up spending 100 rupees, so which also equals to 550 rupees. But another factor that should be taken into account is the time that will be spent in going and coming back. So suppose it takes 90 minutes for you to go and come back, but in this case, the order is done, the food arrives, and you're done eating in say 20 minutes, right? So if I look at the time aspect of it, I'm saving 70 minutes in this case, right? Money wise, I'm not spending, or there is not much of a difference. However, there can be other factors attached to it, right? If I'm going out and eating, then perhaps I'm having more fun. Perhaps it is a nice experience. Going out and eating would not be as high. So this is another way in which you can compare two choices and try to understand what is the opportunity cost of not choosing the other option. So these are some examples wherein I've tried explaining opportunity cost. And if you have more examples, please put them down in the comments and I would love to hear from you. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Take your hand, pat yourself on the back, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.